which is great. And I feel like, in a way, and I feel like I've always felt like this even before I came to my realization. I feel like everyone is born bisexual, and then as we develop our who we are, we skew a little bit more, to are we straight or gay, pan, trans, whatever, and Banana Bear Show.
Hey, Mikey.
Yeah.
So, uh, folks,
Hmm.
the Banana Bear Show. Uh,
Yes.
I I want to say this. May, maybe speaking for Mikey as well.
I,
Um,
I can speak for myself, but I'll probably
well,
agree with you
yeah.
somewhat.
BKBN was a big part of our like internet life.
Yeah.
It was like kind of the peak era, kind of. Mine was like a little after, and then it just kind of went down like that. But like, um, one of the biggest people in BKBN was Sean Long, and I still consider Sean Long to be a friend. Although, like, I have other friends like Anthony James trying to slander me with my friend Sean Long, where Sean Long probably thinks like, "Oh, I think he's stupid for his viewpoints," which I don't. Um, I think his viewpoints are wrong, but I don't hate the guy. Um, like, would you agree? Like, Sean Long was like our friend, although like we were internet friends, like still friends, right?
Yeah. I mean, as much as a friend, I went to Comic Con with the man. I met him in California, and we shared a room together. We actually slept in the same bed. Um, Off this video, nothing like that happened. But
Well,
I
well,
mean,
I shared a room with him in New York
right.
for New York Comic Con. I bought him a muffin. There you go. But Sean Long, he was very like involved with at the time because I was online all the time. At that point, I was helping like run that website.
Right.
A lot of people know that like a lot of people were the talent, and I was the smaller talent, so I had to make it up by running the front page, comic section, podcasts, all that stuff. So me and Sean were on Skype all the time. So I do consider him a friend. Uh, However, things have like our paths have gone differently because obviously he's still on YouTube, still with ads. Apocalypse kind of killed me, um, so I'm barely on here. But like our things are different, and sure enough, he was on the Banana Bear show, one of the first episodes.
Right.
That's before he had a kid. Now he has a toddler. Uh, Even that he had weird viewpoints on political things, very left leaning because obviously he lives in San Francisco.
And he's
Um,
very impressionable.
yeah, yeah, but like his viewpoint, he's very on the left. But he even flat out said, I don't hate you guys. You're right, blah blah. And I used to be left, and I have gone the other way. I've taken that pill to go on the right side, but I'm not completely left where I'm like not gonna like hear anybody out.
Right.
Um, Nowadays with culture, a lot of people are embracing their sexuality by coming out as gay or bi or asexual or pan, whatever fuck it is. Like it's the new thing. And
Right.
when I see people I don't know do it, I'm like, okay, whatever. You like telling everybody what you do in your bedroom. That's stupid. Like,
Yeah.
okay. It's not like I'm like, hey guys, I prefer to have sex with women when they're facing the other direction. Like, I'm not saying that. Nobody says that. You're like,
Yeah.
why? Why
Yeah.
do you need to know that? Why do you need to know what I have preferences in the bedroom? What does that
Better
do? That's not a
furthermore, why do I have to be happy that you are that way?
well, generational wise, like before we hit the cusp of this, you could even look at South Park how they did this. Like when a character came out as gay, the dad's like, "I love you. Here's $20." Like because he came out. You're celebrating someone's sexuality because it's different, but you're trying to make it say it's okay. And I'm in the generation where if you're gay, straight, all this stuff, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's a problem when that's your personality is that you're gay.
Yes.
It's kind of like, oh, I'm from Mexico. My personality is I'm Mexican.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be the case. That should just be like an underlining of what category you go down when you're in the bedroom or your dating preference, what have you. So
That's for you.
yeah.
That's for you. That's not for me to care about.
So Sean Long made this video called "Hey, I'm bi. I'm coming out," inspired by Pride Month. Now this came out a couple months ago, and I never saw it.
About
It's
3
not
weeks
because
ago.
I hate a couple weeks ago. I haven't seen Sean's videos in a while. It's not because I hate him or anything like that. It's just I don't watch Anthony's videos. I don't watch like my videos. Like I'm kind of off. The last thing I kept watching was like Cyrex videos, and those are just entertaining. But be that as may, this was brought to my attention, and I think how you and me, Mikey, we talk about these things in
Yeah.
the entertainment realm, how it's a big deal because we're noticing it more.
Yeah.
I would just like to take a gander at the video and just give you my thoughts. And the thoughts of like, I consider myself just what do they call us? A cis white male?
Yeah.
Straight guy, whatever. Yeah. Like, I don't give a fuck what German word you want to call me, because it came from a German psychologist that
right.
didn't grasp what things were. By the way, if you're non-binary, that makes you binary. You want to know why? Because you're binary or non-binary. That's two things. You're still binary. Fucking morons. But I digress on that. I love Sean to death. This is why I'm saying this in the beginning. Sean, I do not care that you're bi. We all knew this. You told us that, you experimented and we all laughed, and then that's it. You're still our buddy. And even with this video, Sean, I don't hate you. What you did for my online presence and the friendship I had with you, I still love. And Sean, me saying this does not devalue what you've done for me or my thoughts on you personally. I just have some issues of how you did this and why some people would be angry with you with it, because I think you're buying in the praise of the masses of this big, no offense, gay wave, as the trans like stuff is happening and all that stuff. And I understand you want to get the views and clicks. And you may say, oh, no, I didn't do it for that. Okay. You give the benefit of the doubt. You just wanted to come out and say you're bi. All right. But the things you're saying this are wrong. Like, just wrong. The only thing, like, okay, Mikey, in the clip,
yeah,
doesn't he say something about everyone being born bi?
Yeah. Yeah. He says he believes that everyone is born bi, and you develop into one way or the other or whatever, like both. But before we go on, I want to say I also do not hate or dislike you, Sean. I dislike what you stand for now.
I wouldn't even say that. I don't think he's trying to be a martyr for that community.
Well, I mean, he is. He's coming out and saying he's bi. That's he's including himself in that community. I disagree with what they do, and I'm against that. As far as, I don't approve of it. That does not mean that I disapprove of him or gay people in general. I have had many gay friends over the years. I don't care that they're gay. They also don't put it in my face. They don't make videos about it. They don't tell me. They don't talk about it in front of me. And there's nothing wrong with that. Because I don't sit and talk about how I'm straight and they need to be straight or they need to approve of my straightness.
You know what the funny thing is that I'm realizing is that a lot of the culture nowadays with like, oh, I'm gay, lesbian, bi, trans, fluent of non whatever.
Yeah.
It's becoming a religion.
Uh-huh. It
Have you
has been a
realized that?
religion. Yeah,
It's just
because
like
it's their identity.
it like so with that being said, they'll be offended if you say this is wrong because that's their religion. But religion is I consider anything religious is like, okay, it's purpose of being here and why, like, where you go when you die. That's the encompassing of all religions. It's that basis of why we're here and where we go when we're gone.
Right.
The sexuality has nothing to do with it. And if you're born a certain way, yeah, but you got to remember this. And Mikey, I know you kind of disagree with this, but I always look at nature compared to us. When you look at a dog, a dog's going to go for a female dog to procreate because that's the purpose of animals is to procreate, to be bacteria. It's a funny scientific fact that a lot of people don't talk about. That feeling of love, all that stuff, it's all chemicals for you to have sex, right?
Right.
Somehow, when a person's born, and we're all born female, that's true. That's until the Y chromosome gets developed. That doesn't make us all women. That's just a fetal stage. Like it doesn't make me a woman. Because my dick didn't grow yet.
Right. It's just like a frog. A frog it's a tadpole and then grows into a frog. Yeah. I mean, it's a stage, kind of. I mean, it's not one for one, but
all I think tadpoles have a sex before. I'm not sure though.
Well, I'm just saying that they go through stages.
Yeah.
I mean,
trimesters and all that stuff. Yeah. That's like a birth of a fetus, which a lot of you not pro life, whatever. Fetus means baby, so shut up. There's not a difference. But so him doing this, fine. You wanted your praise. That's why people come out of the closet. It's not, for acceptance. It's to get your praise. You're getting your 15 minutes here, buddy. Fine. That's cool. Get what you deserve. But the thing is, like I said, we knew this. We knew this because he said this to us. And we were like, oh, okay. That's it. Yeah. But then he's saying that he got bashed before and all that stuff. And it's weird for Sean to talk about his sexuality and all that stuff. I hate bringing this up. Before I met him, there was a little thing that happened on Skype. That was the last time he talked about his sexuality, and he almost got in trouble. And it took a humongous troll, and I don't even know if he knows this. It was a guy named, I forgot what his name was at the time, but his name was Mr. Medicare. He was the biggest troll guy. He goes after pedophiles. He goes after like pieces of shit. He looked into his thing, and he was like, he just made a fucking joke. And after that, all those trolls went away.
Yep.
Because he was like King Honcho back then. I found this out later on in life that he dodged a bullet. Because if that guy didn't do his investigation, me and Sean BKBN would have never been a thing. Because he would have been slammed and gone. He says that when he had short hair and he didn't paint his eyes and his nails because of the gay bashing, newsflash, everyone's called gay.
Yeah.
Back in the day. And it's not like, oh, you suck dick, you like men. It's more of a term of like, I guess, with Xbox and all that stuff, it's you call somebody that.
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping you weren't going to say endearment because it wasn't endearment. It was
no. I know people that are gay that do use that term for endearment.
Oh, okay.
As a joke.
Yeah.
And it's funny and weird, and I'm not allowed to say it in front of them for some reason. Yeah. They're acting like it's the N-word. Like, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
But the thing is, Sean had his base of kids that watch his toy reviews.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think, and obviously he's not collecting anymore. His channel is now based off of something else completely. He wants to talk about other things. And mind you, I haven't watched him, not saying, oh, I hate his content. I just haven't. I don't think it's right for him to, like, okay, if you're doing it to have somebody like, oh, it's okay to be gay. There's so many other mediums saying the same freaking thing that I think the generation gets it. It's okay to be gay. Fine. It's okay. But when you're slaying people like, hey, I got bullied and I was a goth and an emo, and I kind of liked men, but I was scared to talk about it. Don't lie, Sean. You told us like it was fine. People mentioning that you may have had a voice that was very feminine. Yeah, okay. Like we all knew. Like it's fine.
Yeah,
It's all fine.
I also got told that, but I'm not gonna be like,
Well, maybe I should look into that. Like,
I'm not questioning. I mean, it's people say stuff, especially
I mean,
back then. That was just something that was said. That was one of those things, and everybody coming out and being like, "Oh, this hurt me so bad." It's like,
oh, it traumatized me.
Everybody did that.
I mean, I could say what like my gay friend would say. He's a greedy gay guy. Because he likes women too.
Oh,
he can't make up his mind.
Okay.
But he's a father too, and Lord knows his son grow up to be straight, gay, whatever. It does not matter. I have a problem when it's like, hey, my dad's bi. Not thinking that like, oh, are you gonna sway your kid to be bi now? Is that a thing? Like a good parent would never sway your kid to do anything, other than unless it's for a moral thing. You're supposed to set an example. You're ghosts for your kids. You're supposed to teach them as much as you can before you're dead. That that's something from Interstellar. Like your memories for your kids. And I think you using this as a platform, once again, don't care. It's just like you announcing it though. What are you trying to accomplish?
Yep.
Are you? Sean, everyone knows that you support the left agenda, support all that stuff. We all know that.
Yep.
Good for you. You doing this? Are you just are you expanding about that? Are you gonna now come out and say, you know what? I kind of identify as a woman now. I mean, that's when I'll say, come on, dude, you got to really look at it. You just had a kid. You were a guy when you had sex with a female,
and you didn't actually have a kid. You impregnated a woman.
No.
So
he used his penis.
Yeah.
To inject a woman with his DNA to have a baby.
That's something you actually have to specify now in this day and age, because some people just don't get it.
And the mother of a child is a birther.
Yeah.
I would call her a mother, as you are a father to that kid. I just think that if you want to set a better a viewpoint of this, I would practice what you would preach, because every time he's talked to us, Mikey, you will vouch for me. I think of this way, but I don't. I'm not completely on that side. I don't hate anybody that thinks anything. That's different. But then when you listen to him, it's like, nah, he thinks all the way to the left. Like he thinks hospitals are not taking care of people. Bro, that's against the law. And
right.
they do that. Like,
yeah,
my dad had cancer and had not that much money, and the amount of money it would take to take care of him with his tongue cancer, it was mostly comped. They will not do service because you don't have money.
Now there's an argument to be made with the quality of care that different people are given based off of their economical status.
Yeah,
that's true.
I mean, if I was more rich, if my dad was more rich, maybe he would be alive, or like it. I could always think that way, but why? It's
what? Right, but I'm just saying
those doctors had a job and they did the best they could.
I'm just saying, like, it's not cut. There are issues, so we're not saying there's not issues, but make sure you say the correct issues whenever you're talking.
Yeah, and we did bash him on his one episode that was very political because he was misinformed about a lot of things. Fact checking it too, like flat out. Nowadays too, with more fact checking on Twitter, you would see that we were making up that, like, no, you're wrong on this. You're wrong on this.
Right, and that's what I was doing. I was aggravated at the fact I hate hypocrisy, which, I mean, everyone, even myself, has had some form of hypocrisy in their life.
Yeah.
but I like to call it out. And if people see it in me, I would like them to call it out for me. And then I can correct myself. But if we don't know to correct ourselves, people not calling us out, we can't correct ourselves. But you got to be willing to be wrong is the thing. And I'm very much willing to be wrong.
Like, remember the electoral college thing that that I proved you wrong with?
Yeah.
That was actually on the same episode we were critiquing him.
Right.
Like, yeah. It's just, I would love to debate Sean on certain things.
Yeah.
And I believe that unless, like I said, Anthony James said a lot of lies about us to Sean, so Sean didn't like, the rumor is that Sean doesn't like us because of what Anthony said. And I'm telling you, Sean, whatever he told you is wrong. Because he's an asshole.
And I can probably back this up because I tried to leave a comment on this video that I've got up on the screen, the coming out video. And either my comment was deleted or was not able to be posted. So why am I not able to comment on your stuff, Sean? Like, I have never said anything that would hurt you. I don't think. I mean, I called you out on some stuff that I didn't think you were saying correctly. I would expect you to do the same for me.
It's kind of like when he said, like, Iron Man 3 was bad. I mean, good. And we're like, no, Sean, it was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. What held up longer? His debate or ours? Obviously, we were right. Like, a lot of people are now saying, yeah, that wasn't a good movie.
Yeah.
I mean, he could probably say the same thing about Green Lantern with me. I don't know, but he liked it too. The thing is, I don't want him to go down the path of what I see these other people on TikTok and like Instagram and all this stuff. I don't know them. I don't give a fuck about them.
Right.
I care about Sean, and I think Sean has a good enough heart where he doesn't realize certain things that he's doing that are propagating a narrative that is fucking wrong. It's not that you're bi. Once again, good for you. You like both appetizers on the course, whatever. It's that your fan base are people that look at you as a father figure, right? And you just inserting the same thing that everyone has been getting driven into the ground, that gay pride, blah, blah, blah. I'm pretty sure everyone knows that it's fine to be gay now. Like you guys won, morally, some people may disagree with that.
Mm-hmm.
You won. You shouldn't have any parades anymore. You're not bigoted anymore. If you are, people are canceled. All this stuff. You have more barriers around you than a Black American. Let's be honest here. More people will go out for you if you are gay and you're being bullied. More straight cis people will come to your aid because you're being bullied.
Yeah.
And I use the race thing because that's the easy thing to do. But I think in a lot of areas, same thing happens. If you see a racial thing, a white person will step in and say, dude, shut the fuck up. Not only are you making us look bad, you're fucking being a bigot, which is wrong.
Right. So I want to jump in. Like, I'm a Christian and I'm religious, and not all of us are like the stereotypical, what you think of a Christian. Like, I don't turn away gay people. I talk to gay people. I treat them just like anybody else. I don't agree with what they're doing, but I'm not going to sit here and spout to them, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. If somebody were to come up to me, like if you wanted to talk to me about it, I would tell you, yeah, you're wrong. But I'm not going to sit here and preach to you out of the blue. I'm not going to go hunt you down and show you a sign that says you're going to hell. I'll tell you if you ask. But it's not my place to come and crucify you. It's not what I'm doing. And whenever I'm praying for you, like somebody said in your comments, they're praying for you because they think what you're doing is wrong.
I personally, like I said before, like the whole gay, straight, trans. It's funny because I don't even think trans should be in that whole thing because like it's different.
Yeah,
Because that's like embracing same sex sexual relations, and the other one's saying there is no sex
right.
or genders. So it's like an oxymoron. I don't
Yeah.
know. And I've heard a lot of gay people too say the same thing. They're like, the T should not be with the B's, G's, and L's. And I'm like, F with that. But like I'm I was raised Roman Catholic and Lutheran, right? So my viewpoints are kind of mixed, especially because we're American too. Because the whole purpose of being American is live the American dream, be happy, be who you are, live your life. Just don't hurt anybody else.
Right.
And someone being bi, for me, you're not hurting anybody else. Personally, I can't watch it or like get behind it. No pun intended. Um, but it's fine. That's what you do in your privacy. It's who you love is who you love. But when you're using it as a platform of notice me senpai or senpi, whatever,
Close.
and you're using it, yeah, you're using it as like kind of like this is where I stand, and everyone else that if you're giving me hate, you're a bigot. I hate that word bigot because once again, I don't hate anybody in that community with the letters at all. Do what you do. It's just a lot of people are now speaking up because kids are being involved.
Yep.
And I don't have kids. You have kids.
I have kids. Yeah.
But like so any father would tell you, like, once kids are involved, gloves are off. Like you're messing with something that I made, that I'm paying for, that I put my love and soul in to make sure that their future and their lives are good. And you have people saying, oh, adults leave. Your parents have been lying to you.
Yeah.
You're really not a boy.
It is not their place to teach my children morals. That's my place. It is not their place to teach my children anything unless I say, yes, please teach them this.
And the sad thing is, like, everyone's like, why not? Why not diversify and blah, blah, blah. It would be different if when you go to school, they teach Christianity and the word of Islam and all that shit with the LGBT stuff. Have them learn all of it and evolution. Then everyone's going to be like, whoa, that's mixing signs. Yeah. Well, you're in a melting pot. So it's cut out all of it or put it all in.
Separate church and state.
Yours in. Yeah. But you want to put your stuff in, but then, and mind you, me and Mikey, viewpoint wise, religion are different.
Mm-hmm.
Like you know the whole creatism thing, that when they said like the massive flood, that's how we got the Grand Canyon.
Oh yeah.
Like they're trying to make science into it, and like everyone's like, that doesn't make sense.
Right.
But like, what if they start teaching that, and everyone's like, well, that's wrong, because it's not right. It's not facts.
It's not proven.
Well, when you're saying, hey, if you're born with a penis, you could be a guy and a girl, that's wrong too.
Yeah.
And if you debate it, they just say, oh, it's because trans kids kill 1 out of 4 trans kids killed themselves. So what? Just sustain a lie?
Just
don't
blackmail like me. I mean, that's emotional blackmail.
Yeah, and Sean's not doing that. I'm just saying that I see something like Pride Month is it's like Valentine's Day. Maybe he had good intentions in the beginning. Oh, buy chocolates and all that stuff. But let's be honest, it is a corporate freaking shell to sell something. Pride Month, guess what? You got a whole 30 days, 31 days, I forgot how many are in June, to just sell this rainbow, it's like a rainbow Y thing with a circle.
And not only that, it's now a bandwagon.
Yeah.
So it's corporate, plus you have everybody being like, for example, kind of what Sean's doing, jumping on the bandwagon and being like, I'm inspired, so I'm going to tell my story. It's like, really?
So, okay, let's say like he had an 11-year-old watch this, and 11-year-old, you may be confused about your sexuality. Everyone kind of is because they're feeling hormones they've never felt before. You know,
Right.
you're now starting to learn about your body, all that stuff. Because Sean Long said, "Bye." Well, that's an option. It shouldn't be an option. It should be what you are. You don't just feel gay one day. You're supposed to be born feeling that way. So you don't just develop it. But now in the mindset that people are having, well, I'm confused about this stuff. I don't like my body. I must be a woman. And then that's that idea of, hey, you could do that. And everyone's like, you'll be fine. There's research. And then there's no research. And now you're seeing all these horror stories about, women. And it's mostly women that try to be men. And then they have to switch back because they realize that they did a big mistake.
Right.
When you see more of the men do that, that's when you're going to start seeing a big uprise of people like Sean pushing the shit. And you just gave our generation more Percocet. Thank you. That's what I'm thinking of. Like the whole, doctors pushing the Percocet.
Right. I mean,
they didn't really know.
He's helping create mental illness. Like he's helping these people go down a path that they can't come back from, or they can, but it's going to be hard. Like they can do damage to themselves mentally and physically.
Your butthole.
Yes.
I'm going to make a joke. This is a joking podcast. I don't give.
I mean, yeah, I don't care. But it's wrong. Like the reason they've come full circle, like it was always said, like you mentioned earlier, like you're born that way, you're born that way, you're born that way. But now it's a choice. Like they've come full circle back to it's a choice because it always was a choice. I don't believe people are born that way. One of the big things that I've come to realize is that porn and low morals, like being morally bankrupt, lead to questioning this, like pushing these boundaries and like wanting to do more in these sections and like wanting to see more because, you desensitize yourself over time to certain things and you want to see internet more.
And our generation, like I said, like I've said this before, I think our generation was the one that the first ones to say, okay, you're gay, that's fine, right?
Yeah.
And then we're also the same generation that said, well, that religion thing is kind of messed, there's a lot of hatred in there. And all these preachers are touching these little boys.
Yeah.
That's not right. This religion is bad. And like I've said, I don't think I've said this on the podcast before. I was atheist like a while ago. And the older I'm getting, the more I'm finding it because you get more scared when you have no backing of where you're going to go when you die. And it's just hatred. I pissed all the time because I'm like, there is no God because all this bad shit's happening to me. Well, it's got to be my fault, all this stuff. Looking at all the religions, blah, blah, blah. But the slower I'm coming back to this mosh posh of like my ideas that like you kind of need that religion, like moral good thing, not just like, oh, it's just right not to kill somebody. Right. Someone could live off that for forever. Right.
Yeah.
It because our society is based off of like a Christian adjacent, I would call it, like, moral compass.
Mm-hmm.
Every goddamn country is like that. Even the Muslim ones are kind of Christian adjacent because Muslims aren't Christian adjacent.
Right.
Judaism, all that stuff. It's the places that don't have that structure are the ones that are more like liberal, no boundaries, all this stuff. You don't need rules. Fuck it. Sin doesn't. If it makes you feel good, do it. Yeah. Look at the heroin epidemic. I guess if it makes you feel good, do it. It's not a good idea. You have to have boundaries. You have to have rules. You have to have some type of order, or you're going to have full blown chaos. And what you get with that is it's bad shit, because humans are bad by default, because everything in this world is is kind of evil. Look at a fish. If you drop something in the ocean, it automatically eats it. It doesn't know anything. It just knows eat, survive, sleep. Bare necessities. The more intelligent you get, the more free will you have, the more ideas you have.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually for self, gratification.
Yep.
And that means you're going to have to hurt somebody. Oh, I ate more hamburgers. You're hurting yourself with that. And also that farmer that just killed like that cow. Okay. Instead of feeding 10 people, you just fed 8. You know what I mean? Like there's a pro and all that stuff. And I just think that moral compass that you brought up was a good point. I'm not saying people like get a religion and all that stuff. You should have a view structure of where you're going when you die.
Right. And
because even though
I'm not saying people get a religion. Like I just want to make that clear. Like if it's right for you and you have somebody to talk to, go talk to that person. I'm personally a Christian, and I think that the Christian philosophy, the Christian religion, is something that you can fill that void with. But I know it's not for everybody, and I'm not saying that. So,
and I know a lot of atheists, because like I said, I was like probably because when you're atheist, they give you a percentage, right? And I was like 95, because the one thing you can't wrap your head around, all atheists, no one's full blown, because if they're basing it off science, guess what? Science is all factual, right? Except for one thing, and that's the Big Bang. You get one miracle, right? And that's the Big Bang. They can't explain how that happened. So something had to start the Big Bang. That's where like my religion was at one point, at the probably the I guess the most depressed I was, right?
Right.
And the older I got, the more like, you come back to what you know. And like, I don't know. I think that you need something there. If it's in, maybe a lot of kids nowadays, they don't have that religious thing. So they feel like they need to be a part of a community. That's why they're going, well, maybe I'm gay. But they're not really gay. They just want to be a part of something. Because, us white guys, we really can't do that. I mean, we try like, you know what? I got Viking in me. I'm a Viking, blah, blah, blah. But no one else is going to be like, yeah. But in closing, I just think Sean, whether his intentions were like not like trying to, what would you call it?
Bandwagoning, or just, drawing attention to himself, or wanting to get brownie points, or, any of those reasons.
Now, mind you, I'm not saying that he's lying or anything.
Right.
About this. Or like, fair weather fanning it. I just think timing wise and all that stuff, I wish you the world, Sean. I really do. And
yeah.
If you're offended by what I said or what Mikey said, I personally, no matter what hatred you have for what I said, I will always cherish what you've done for my internet career when I did have it. And I still think the world of you. And I think you're a good father, probably. I'm just saying this as a medium of internet and all that stuff. I think it was the wrong thing to do. That's just me.
Right. And I, whether I offend you or not, like, I don't mean to cause harm, but you can decide what you will for that. I mean, you can't prove intent. Like, I can't prove intent that you're trying to bandwagon or anything like that. So, I don't mean harm, but like I said earlier, I'm going to call out what I see. So, just calling you out.
And the Banana Bear Show is kind of like just a mosh podge of stuff like entertainment and right-wing politics and just randomness of speaking out against what it's funny because Trump's like, I hate that word woke. What does that even mean? But that's what they call it.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to say what it is.
Stay woke. It's seeing those things that you don't approve of.
I mean,
being awake to a higher power.
I mean, Freddy's going to get you. You don't have to stay up. He's going to get you.
Okay. And with that, you can go check us out on the Banana Bear Show on YouTube, and be sure to like, subscribe, do all the things to the videos, share the videos, and leave a little comment with what do you think about what we said.
Yeah,
Sean?
are you gonna cancel me?
Please come into our comments if
Gonna cancel me? Come on.
and
Come on, bro.
if you do want to come on here and we can have a civil discussion or debate, however you want to do it, we'd be happy to. Either one of us or both of us, or however, we're up for whatever. So let us know.
I would want, if I was you guys, I would debate Mikey because he's probably a lot more civil. On my viewpoints, I'll go for the throat and try to get you.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not right completely, I will argue my point until I am.
Yes, I've experienced this. It's
but
kind of scary.
But with Mikey, I'm always right anyway, so it doesn't matter.
He thinks.
I'm in my own little world.
And with one last swig of my soda, I hope everybody has a good weekend. We'll see you next video. Did I say week again? Oh well.
Bye, Peter.
See you next video.
Bye, Peter.